Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We have just had a win by the Whigs over the government, and I think we're just gonna make a break for slavery banned. I think we're gonna rip straight into it. So we're gonna assuredly get a counter-revolutionary movement. The evangelicals are very pleased. Diplomatic actions. Give me a trade agreement. And I think, so they've accepted now. They will accept a defensive pact. Petite bourgeoisie petition government. They want a dedicated police force. You know what? I'm gonna do this. So, representing his constituents in the petite bourgeoisie, Daniel Webster has issued a formal petition to the American government to pass a dedicated police force. One last matter for the day, sir. Members of your constituency arrived this morning. They're asking rather loudly and insistently if you would meet with them about new legislation. Well, is that it? Goodness, you seem as if you've seen a ghost. I'm sure I can spend the last hours of the light for them, can't I? I believe so, sir. They weren't taking no for an answer. So this is the president going to Congress. Let's see if we can get a dedicated police force, and I think they're going to get it. So we'll see what we can do. I'll almost assuredly be able to pass that once the southern planters are crushed. I'm going to go ahead and grab a defensive pact for an obligation with Great Britain. They're going to help me with this civil war. Because I think we're almost assuredly going to have a civil war. The southern planters are not going to take this lying down. They are furious. The yeoman farmers are furious. This is not going to be... This is going to be ACW2 1930, ACW1 1937. Oh man, I've been playing way too much Hearts of Iron 4. That's what's happening. Okay, let me see if we've now got the ability to colonize Texas. We do not. Alright, so that is what it is. Perhaps when we annex Texas, which should be soon, we'll get there. I'm actually going to throw these iron mines in at the top of the queue first, because I think they're more important than the fertilizer plants. And there is the revolution. So, they are very angry. States that will secede, it's basically everyone. The entire Old South, but we have Britain on our side, so I'm feeling pretty good about my ability to do this overall. Do I keep draining the treasury as this sorts itself out? Beautiful. Texan statehood. Texas has won its independence from Mexico and now seeks statehood within the United States. The people of Texas, having at the time of adopting their constitution expressed in an almost unanimous vote their desire to be incorporated into the Union of the United States, and being still desirous of the same with equal unanimity, in order to provide more efficiently for their security and prosperity, and the United States, actuated solely by the desire to add to their own security and prosperity, to meet the wishes of the government and the people of Texas, have determined to accomplish by treaty objects so important to their mutual and permanent welfare. Oh, what a long sentence. That's so much sentence. Texas, dial it back. But also, welcome to America. Maybe now we can colonize? Yes, ha ha ha, yes. Alright, so, inefficient agriculture. The industrialists have started complaining about the existence of subsistence farms in Delaware, saying their undeniable inefficiency should be immediately addressed. The fertile soil of our people suffers, relegated to tired and callous hands, too exhausted from manual labor to perform at a decent level, too poor to be able to use more advanced tools that would make them more profitable. This industry is just a useless investment. I could follow their advice, give me some radical upper sternum pops, or I could make the industrialists a little mad. How are the industrialists feeling? Industrialists are feeling good. I'm going to say we should follow their advice. Oh, and that doesn't come back to bite me in the booty. Are we going to lose... Okay, so here's what it's looking like. States that will secede, Tennessee and Virginia. Not a big deal. 93% risk for Georgia, South Carolina, and Alabama. 85% risk for Kentucky, and then 48% risk for Mississippi, and 22% for a bunch of these different areas. So I think we're going to be good. I actually don't think this is going to be that big of a civil war. And then we're going to feed directly into the Civil War event chain. And that's going to be just fine. As we've annexed Texas, we've gotten a little bit of influence back, so that's nice as well. Let's go ahead and start improving... Can't improve relations with Austria or Prussia? Hold on. Don't I have an interest... I have an interest in North Germany, so that should give me relations with Prussia. Oh, it's 300 influence. That's why I can't do it. Okay, never mind. Alright. The abolitionists' martyrdom. An ardent abolitionist writer died in a firefight against a pro-slavery mob which had gathered in front of his house. The story has gone national and radicalized previously apathetic individuals high and low. His friends sighed. The funeral had been small, lest the mob appear again in force. The gravestone itself was simple, not calling attention to itself. The only embellishment that had been allowed was a simple inscription. Here lies a brave man. Now spare his grave. Ghastly. The violence of the slavers must be resisted. Henry Clay, who's currently a pacifist, becomes an abolitionist. Or, the abolitionist agitation must be stopped. Cornelius Vanderbilt, head of the industrialists, becomes a slaver. I'm going to go with the first one. This is going to increase our chance of banning slavery by a lot. Shabamzo. Because this should make the intelligentsia anti-slavery. That should give us an extra 11%, maybe? Not much. Fort Tennessee of Anger. Mobs have surrounded the arsenal in Alabama, threatening to seize the arms and munitions stored within. While the guards are staving off attacks for now, if no relief is sent, then the arsenal will fall to insurrectionists. I couldn't sleep last night. The commander refuses to accept terms, and firing continues from both the arsenal and the emplacements that now surround it. After one loud blast, I sprung out of bed and went to my knees to pray as I've never prayed before. A relief column could escalate tensions, but it's necessary. 5% of servicemen pops in Alabama become more radical. 66% chance of slowing down the Civil War, 33% chance of increasing it. Or the mob could be emboldened by a surrender, but we need to take that risk. 5% of officer pops in Alabama become more radical. A 33% chance of reducing progress by 10%, 66% chance of increasing it. I'm going to go with the first one. A relief column seems like the right call. Oh, it succeeded. So again, I don't necessarily want to slow this down, though, because the fewer revolutionary events I get, the fewer extra radicals I'll have kicking around. And I would like to not have extra radicals kicking around, because I want to get my help from Great Britain and get this thing done. That's actually my weirdly enough, I kind of want to kick this thing off. Okay. Yeah, okay, we're definitely going to lose Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. Again, though, this is pretty alright. This is a pretty alright situation overall. At this point, I'm going to do one more week of construction before I pause the construction queue. Our government is significantly more legitimate, though, so I'm actually going to increase taxation back to medium, and then pause government construction. And this is going to allow us to build up a significant amount of cash, and that'll be very useful once the Civil War kicks off. Ersatz food. Struggling people in Illinois have been desperately trying to get their hands on any food they can. Dire warnings of a turnip winter have been spreading throughout the region. Last week, all we could get was pig's feed. This week, I'm not actually sure what this stuff is. So that's sawdust? These food substitutes will fill people's stomachs, 2% mortality in the area. Try to increase local food production by any means. Reduce Civil War progress by 10%. Farming incentives reduced agriculture tax throughput, 10% plantations and agriculture throughput. Or we can't do anything for them. Increase Civil War progress by 10%. Minus 25% throughput. I'm going to do the second one. That just seems sensible. I know it's going to reduce progress of the Civil War. Again, not that big of a deal either way. We know this Civil War is going to pop off, basically. I was really hoping we would get some extra percentage out of the intelligentsia not wanting this to happen. I should have... I guess they were already in that camp. That was my mistake. So we're getting 24% debate chance. I think that's mostly the power of the petite bourgeoisie, who I think should be abolitionists at this stage. I think they used to be in the previous build of the game, but aren't necessarily. Raising concerns. Yeoman farmers have expressed their concerns about the government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. Choosing is always hard, not because the decision is difficult to make, but because the consequences can be a bit inconvenient. Rumors are spreading like smoke from a factory, staining the clear air of the United States of America with a dense and vicious poison. This needs to be addressed. Yeoman farmers happy, industrialists unhappy. Or they need to accept we can't always please everyone, yeoman farmers unhappy and weaker. I think actually weakening the yeoman farmers is the right call in this situation. So I'm going to go with the second one. That might be a big mistake, but it is what it is. I might be making a mistake. I might not be. In any case, I don't think it matters all that much. Part of the reason I am trying to get this revolution to kick off sooner is because I don't want too many setbacks here. Bureaucratic imbroglio. Lawmakers working towards the enactment of slavery ban found themselves mired in a particularly complex set of bureaucratic proceedings, grinding the work towards reform to a near halt. The fully developed bureaucratic apparatus compares with other machine organizations exactly as the machine with the non-mechanical modes of production. That is to say, the teeth of its individual gears meet in a chord, or its gears will gnash and churn until it eventually breaks. Damn this labyrinthine legal system. This reduces enactment chance by 10% and increases enactment time by 20%. Or I can cut through at least some of the red tape. This will give me a bureaucracy penalty and radicalize some bureaucrat pops, but it'll only increase enactment time. You know I'm going with that second one. I don't want to lose 10 of my 18 percentage of enactment chance here. So this is going to go up by another 25% as we hit this next event. The Indian removal. We're having another Indian removal. In accordance with the removal treaty, it is time for the Cherokee of Arkansas to relocate to the Indian Territory. Some holdouts refuse to leave their homes, and many are poorly equipped for the journey. We've seen this dialogue before. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to offer some assistance. That's going to be 1,400 government expenses, but it's the only humane way to do this. The people's wealth. A group of revolutionaries have carried out a robbery of an American state bank in Georgia. A significant amount of money has been stolen and redirected into the revolutionaries' coffers. A shot rang out, and the marble ceiling was marred with a new crack. The screams of bank officials accompanied dust and splinters hitting the floor. In the name of the Revolutionary Executive Committee, I declare everyone under arrest. Hands up, otherwise everyone will be killed. Order increased security around banks across the United States of America, extra government costs, or rely upon locals to report those suspected of robbery. This is just 5% Civil War progress and the same... Oh, this is costs for 2 years. This is costs for 1 year. I'm going to do the second one. Give me some extra Civil War progress. Let's get this thing started. You want to go, Southern planters? I might be making a huge mistake here. You want to go, Southern planters? You want to go? I'm going to queue in some more... Let me see. You're a jingoist. You align with the armed forces. This... Gregory Rust, you're the boss here now. Army of Florida, you are a Southern Planters guy. So this group, Well, that's unfortunate. So we're going to put the Army of Observation. We're going to add some conscripts to this group. So, let me see. We'll get 2 in Michigan. We'll do... all 8 battalions in Illinois. We'll have another 10 in Indiana. That's 10 battalions of infantry, and then we'll do some artillery as well. That's 20 battalions of infantry, rather, so we'll do 5 of artillery. And actually, we'll do 5 units of lancers as well. 2 from Indiana, and 3 from New Jersey. For our regular army, we're also going to throw some conscript lancers in there. Actually, let's throw a little bit more artillery in there. We got 35 battalions of infantry, conscript infantry. So let's do 5 more battalions. We'll do a few more battalions of conscript artillery as well. Shabamzo. That'll bring them up to 20, and then we'll do 5 battalions of conscript cavalry in New York. This should be plenty. This is going to cost just a barrel full, but it's going to be worth it, friends. It's going to be hugely, hugely, hugely worth it. Let's set all of our places to general training, all of our ports to ports. Budget, I think we can afford 1 more consumption tax. Let's do luxury furniture. Kind of appreciate that this actually isn't radicalizing that many people, because the Southern planters are so, like, literally so few actual people that it's not really that big of a deal. Alright, so once this is done, the slavery debate will be completed, and then we'll all be rolling in happiness. New journal entry for branching out. That's getting businesses hooked up with railways. Not that big of a deal. Hey, there's water tube boiler. Wonderful. So, what does our tool market look like? Tools are looking okay. If we grab our iron mines and increase them to using the new condensing pump engine, that's additional 5 tools per mine. There's 17 of them. So that's going to be 85. It's going to be 85 additional tools. Our market is more than able to soak that increase. And we definitely need the tools. I don't care that you think you don't. You definitely do. The armed forces are getting bellicose. Officers associated strongly with the armed forces have publicly issued a list of grievances and demand immediate action from the government. Dark rumors suggest they may join the revolution if they are not satisfied. We are sworn to defend the United States of America, but we must ask ourselves at which point the government itself is the greatest threat to the integrity of the nation it is governing. There is a war coming. Trust me. You will want the real soldiers on our side. We salute the sacrifices our soldiers have made and recognize their need for support. 5 approval, 10% strength. Or here's some orders for you. Get out. They become insurrectionary and get -7 approval. I'm going to go with the first one. Hopefully, that will... it's going to pop off next round, so hopefully that will keep them happy enough that my armed forces generals will stick around. And in fact, Army of Florida, let me put an armed forces guy in here. Just to... Oh, you're a Jacksonian Democrat. That was dumb. I'm dumb. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're going to have Britain on our side. What are the chances Britain's just going to leave all its armies in Britain and not help us? None. The chances are so little. So very little. That would never happen. Britain does that all the time. Hopefully we can keep Florida and I can finish out the colonization there as well. I'm going to improve relations with the Indian Territory. Oh, and I've got some extra influence. Let's improve relations with Prussia. I would like to have good relations with Prussia. Alright, here we go. Revolution is upon us. The Indian removal is... Oh, the Indian removal got completed because we don't have... Oh, boy. Alright. A bunch of areas are... I don't know what all that's about. Anyway. The clearing of the East. The complete removal of the Cherokee to the Indian Territory is complete. For good or for ill, the matter is settled. Who lived here before us? What name did they give to this place? Will any of us know? Does anyone still remember? Armed Forces Happier. So, this is Georgia. Let's see if there actually are still... I think it was Georgia. I'm going to show everyone. Okay, so there are still Cherokee Pops in the area. It's just that I don't own that territory anymore, so that's why this is happening. The Southern Declaration of Secession. A convention of pro-slavery states have declared their independence from us as the American aristocratic revolt. The Union has been challenged, but it will not yield so easily. And the momentous step which we have taken of dissolving our connection with the government of which we so long formed a part, it is but just that we should declare the prominent reasons we have induced our course. Our position is thoroughly identified with the institution of slavery, the great material interest of the world. The house divided against itself cannot stand. For the Union, I would rather call our cause one of states' rights, change players, actively controlled country to from USA to American aristocratic revolt. A house divided against itself cannot stand. For the Union. All right, so let's get the boys together. We are very, very short on fabric. So let's find a place we can import that. Oh yeah, because all cotton mills. Yeah, well, that'll do it. So I don't know. Oh, because I don't have any convoys available. Other people will export that to me, I think. Navy Yard, New York needs a leader. This guy, William Shubrick. Over here we got Matthew Perry. Oh, it's Matthew Perry. We'll be around for you later. Let's get Shubrick now. He's an expert naval commander and he's cautious. So that should allow them to start regaining organization. And then the Army of Florida has no battalions. Let's go ahead and throw some conscripts in there. We can have one conscript battalion. And... okay, so we have gotten Arkansas and Texas. So pretty good. Oop, I accidentally did artillery there. Whoopsie doodle. Alright, so we'll fill them in with a few more from the north here. Alright, that should be fine. And we'll start by raising our conscripts. This is going to cost us a lot of money, but it simply is what it is. We must achieve the victories which we require. So, Army of Observation can't get there. Interesting. Army of Florida doesn't have any battalions yet, so it can't start raising stuff. So, here is the thing, and we can pull in Great Britain, which we will do. No one else seems interested. So I think this is going to go our way. Let's let a week tick over and see what we can... Alright, beautiful. Yep, we're losing great power rank. That is exactly... Oh, this is a front on the District of Columbia. That's really interesting. We actually want these guys here. The Army of Florida will guard the Missouri front. Alright. Moving forward here. So now we've got the American Civil War journal entry. Will complete if secessionists have been defeated and re-annexed. If completed, triggers the event reconstructing the nation. So we're going very fast straight into this here. The Emancipation Proclamation. With the supporters of slavery and rebellion, we can issue a proclamation to free all slaves in rebellious territories. This is the first but most significant step in total abolition. By virtue of the power vested in me in this time of actual armed rebellion, I do order and declare that all persons held as slaves henceforth shall be free. Upon this act, I invoke the considerate judgment of mankind and the gracious favor of Almighty God. By this stroke we shall save the Union. It just enables slavery ban straight out the gate. We refuse to emancipate outside of conventional means. We're going to do the first one. Kablamzo. Slavery banned. So now we can make our petite bourgeoisie happy and get ourselves a dedicated police force. No one with any power is going to be able to stop us. Because the landowners are in open rebellion. They don't have any power. You have no power here, landowners. And that's going to make our position a lot better. Obviously, we're spending huge wads of cash on this war. Circassian mass immigration. Wonderful. The regular army is raising its battalions. Yes, it is. Alright, so now we're in our thing. Britain, get in here. Great Britain sides with the United States. So that should make this war not much of a war. But, again, we still have to do what we gotta do. Let's take a look at our market now. I gotta get some sources of tobacco. I can get that from Britain. And fabric I can get from, well, a lot of different places. I think we can get our best deal from Russia. So let's get that from Russia. We are set to... let's go to protect domestic supply. And we'll take all of our export trade routes of fabric and scrap them. Because they're not going to be productive. Let's see. Groceries we need to bring in. We'll bring those in from France. Guns we need to bring in. Oh, that's very important. Didn't realize our gunsmiths were not in the country. Man of wars we absolutely need to bring in. We'll bring those in from Britain as well. And then tea, we have enough tea. I can live without the amount of tea that we have. Liquor, can I produce any more of that out of my... No, excuse me, out of my farms? No. So we will need to bring in a little bit of that, unless, of course, we're exporting some, which we are. So first we'll scrap... It's someone else's export route. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Give me some from Britain. We're going to rely on Britain for this war. Once this is done, we'll be doing much better. Whew. Alright. The man in the street. Disagreements between the petite bourgeoisie and the intelligentsia are causing conflicts in the government. It might seem radical to you, but if you read the theory, I'd be surprised if you can find a single flaw. One thing I've learned from running a business is that experience beats even a flawless theory when you try to put it into practice. No progress was ever made by putting theory into practice. My astute petite bourgeoisie salty. So-called intellectuals should keep their feet in the ground. Intelligentsia salty. Or we need progress, but at a safe and reliable pace. Huge penalty to authority. Alright, who can I afford to make big mad over here? I can afford the intelligentsia being mad. So-called intellectuals should keep their feet on the ground. Yeah, I just banned slavery by executive fiat, so they're very, very pleased right now. Alright, looks like our shortages are getting worked out. Still a little... oh, I need to bring in artillery. I'm going to bring it in from Britain. I'm going to need more and more as we get going here, so it's not that big of a deal. Tobacco... oh, you know what? This is all barracks, isn't it? Oh, no, it's mostly pops. It's mostly people smoking. Well, that's okay. Alright, Army of Florida is on its way. Force comparison on these fronts is looking really solid. The Army of Florida is low organization, but I can't do anything about that. How? Oh, cripes. They'll be fine. Once they get their infantry mobilized, they don't have anyone against them. Where's the capital? Where's the capital? It's Virginia, right? That's where it is historically. So we're going to set Virginia as the strategic objective. And then we're going to go forward with the American Civil War. Yeah, I know I'm losing great power rank. I'm going to get it back just as soon as I get help from the British to win my Civil War. Small arms input issue. I'm getting as much of those as I can right now. Start a new import route? I think I'm going to continue to rely on the British for the... no, the demand is increasing and I can't get more. We'll do protect domestic supply to cut tariffs, and we'll bring in some from the Russians. Russia produces a lot of rifles. Finances are doing okay there, though. I can probably live with this. There's the fight. So, let's... just going to cut one of these units of artillery. It'll be fine. It'll be completely fine. So, we got our first battle here, and it's not looking great, but we got a lot of guys here, and we got a basically undefended frontier in Virginia, so if we can keep bashing forward and actually get hold of Virginia, we'll be fine. Oh, man, here we go. We've already got Georgia. This will be home by Christmas. Home by Christmas. It'll be completely fine. We've almost completely taken over Virginia. The Confederacy, what a nope, we lost all our occupation in Virginia. Sad. Oh, what a tragedy. Fronts got merged. It was a bad situation. That's okay. Well, hey, there we go. We got it. We got them. So, now they're losing 6 war support per week, and dedicated police forces advanced to over 50%. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident in my ability to win this. Let's put a fleet in the sea node. I'm costing us a ton of money with my extreme conscription situation, but oh, there we go. Fronts are split, but they're still looking good. Oh man, I'm feeling really good about this. This is actually a really good outcome, because winning the Civil War super duper early has given us a lot of leeway to fix up the country. If we can get dedicated police force sorted out, because the Southern planters are going to get a huge debuff to their everythings. And there we go. The American Civil War completed. Reconstructing the nation. First of all, I'm going to unpause construction. Reconstructing the nation. The United States of America must rebuild itself after being split in two. I did not expect this nation to fall. Welcome or unwelcome, whether it becomes all one thing or all the other, this nation shall cease to be divided in body and soul. A house divided against itself cannot stand for the Union. So this adds a bunch of journal entries. Reconstruction, readmit the secessionist states, equality for all, and the Wild, Wild West. I'm going to go ahead and pin all of those. Readmit the secessionist states, equality for all, and the Wild, Wild West. So we got 12 years to handle all of this stuff. Let's see, we are actually just about at 30 minutes, so I'm going to put a pin in it. And wow, we had a really successful Civil War. We defeated the Southern planters. We banned slavery. Things are going well for us. So just make sure, let's restart our colonization of all the contested areas. We'll kick off fresh next time with taking a look at these journal entries and getting the post-Civil War started. But for now, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.